Good morning, my friends. My name is Lama Jigme. I'm the non-sectarian Buddhist monk, yogi, healer, and teacher, as well as tantrika. And it's fully appropriate today to wish you each a top of the morning to you. It's St. Patrick's Day, when everyone's Irish, and so today I think my name is Lama Jigme Ogyatso. I say this with the utmost of respect and love for my Irish brothers and sisters. One of my dearest friends, Reverend Alan, is 100% Irish. He's a tall fellow. When he first met me, we met online. I introduced myself as a Buddhist meditation teacher, Lama Jigme Gyatso. When he met in person, he was horrified to find out I was Jewish. He explained, I already know enough Jews. I reached up, put my hand on his shoulder, and said, "Oh, Alan, you can never know enough Jews." Okay, so, as a vegan, I'm going to ask you not to eat corned beef, but you can have all the cabbage you want. Okay. You can have all the corn, tofu you want. All right. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just asking. If not for the cows, then do it for yourself. Because no one wants cancer, stroke, heart disease, erectile dysfunction, or chemical frigidity. And that is sometimes the consequence, or quite often the consequence, of a diet full or containing animal foodstuffs. Some people call it a tragedy. Some people call it karma. Bottom line, that's just another reason why we should pet animals and not eat them. But you did not tune in to watch me blather on about animal abolition. No, no, no. You want me to talk about apologizing, and so that's what I'm going to do right now. Some people apologize to make themselves feel better, but that ain't right, folks. Apologize to make the injured party feel better. You must break the habit of being self-centered, narcissistic, and prideful. For most assuredly, the sun does not rise out of your tuchus. It rises out of mine. Let's continue. There are many manifestations of pride. One of my personal favorites is defensiveness. So some people try to apologize without admitting any wrongdoing with these words. I'm sure you've heard them before. I'm sorry you feel that way. You know what's implied. I'm sorry you feel that way, you neurotic son of a bitch. And when I say son of a bitch, I mean no disrespect to women. I'm talking, of course, about female dogs. Son of a bitch comes from a translation of the phrase son of a jackal, which basically means you are a demon. You're the demon man. Oh my god. So, here's the deal. We cannot apologize for the way someone else feels. Number one, it's inappropriate. It's not going to make them feel better. It's protecting ourselves. Protecting ourselves is why we hurt someone in the first place. We don't want to do any of that anymore. We cannot apologize for the way someone feels physically or emotionally. We apologize for our behavior. So, for instance, if we're talking and someone is crying and starts crying, we apologize. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry I did not communicate with greater skills. I'm sorry I did not know, that you were sensitive about bringing up this or such or the other. And so what we do is we apologize for our misdeeds. It's a mistake to traverse life through a fear paradigm where we are damned to eternal hell for the slightest misdeeds, and our eternal salvation relies upon the forgiveness of another. Don't do that. An apology from that paradigm is self-centered. Apologize from a place of love. Someone's in pain and denied by me owning a portion of responsibility for their suffering, they might feel even a little bit better. Now, I'm going to stop you right there because a good portion of you are going to quote the late, great Eleanor Roosevelt and say, "But Lama Jigme, no one can make me feel anything I don't want to feel." And with all due respect to Eleanor Roosevelt, I'm going to say from the bottom of my heart, bullshit. The greatest minds, male and female, the last 10,000 years have agreed that we live in an interdependent universe where every being is affected by every other being, and where every being affects every other being. Now, that interdependence, that mutual effect, can be overt or subtle. It can be direct or indirect. It can be immediate or eventual. You can ask a cosmologist, you can ask a particle physicist, you can ask a philosopher, you can ask a poet. Everything affects everything. Everything is affected by everything. So, I respect Eleanor Roosevelt, but if I have to put her in a scale against Buddha, I'm going to go with Buddha. Now, I think we can reconcile Eleanor Roosevelt's saying if we take it metaphorically. In other words, just because someone says I'm a loser doesn't really mean I'm a loser. Just because someone says I'm unimportant doesn't really mean I'm unimportant. Just because someone says I'm frighteningly ugly doesn't mean that doesn't mean I have to be frighteningly ugly. That's just their perception. Some people might find me a dashing fellow, but that's besides the point. So, if we're going to play with the possibility that everything affects everything, then if someone bursts into tears or turns red with anger after I've said something, there is at least a probability that I got to contribute to that. There is a fellow, I suspect his name is Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote a book that was very popular called The 4 Agreements. One of those agreements is not to take anything personally. I know a lot of people who took that to the irrational conclusion and assume responsibility for nothing. And that will mess up your relationships efficiently. If I was you, I would enthusiastically abandon or at least put on hold any philosophical system that reinforces defensiveness. There is nothing loving about defensiveness. We have a choice. We can put ourselves first, or we can put others first. Now, I'm not talking about playing the victim. I'm reminded of a great Dolly Parton line. I forgot the name of the movie. I think it might have been called Talk Radio, where she said, "Honey, get off the cross. Someone needs the wood." So, but what I'm talking about is we have a habit of putting ourselves first. And in Buddhist thought, there's a category of Mahayana contemplations known as exchanging self with others. In other words, instead of defending ourselves against our perceived accusations of others, we defend others against our own defensiveness, our own pride, our own pettiness, our own petulance, if you will. So, here's a great example of an apology. I didn't, I apologize. I don't mean to make you feel that way. I sincerely wish I would have communicated with even greater skill. I wish I would have met your needs better. And I'll really try better. I'll try harder to do better next time. Please accept my apology. Is there anything I can do to make you feel better? And we have to say that with the intention of really meaning it. We can't say, I apologize for hurting your feelings, and I'm really... No, we can't do it. We have to really come from a place of caring what they're going through. Caring doesn't have to be an emotion, because it's tough to select emotions, but we can't select intentions. So there you have it. Let us never apologize for what someone else feels. Apologize for our role in what they're feeling. Apologize for either saying something to hurt them or not saying something to comfort them. By doing that, it's going to shift the energy and help them to feel magnanimous. There is a movie that I recommend. If you can find it on Netflix, rent it. It's called Rising Sun. It's based on a book by Michael Crichton and stars both Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery. There's this wonderful scene in a bar where a Japanese CEO is upset about something. And a stupid white guy, young white yuppie, says something and offers some unsolicited advice. Basically just insults the CEO, makes him feel worse. So everyone places an icy gaze upon the mouthy yuppie, and he quickly shuts up. The CEO is sitting next to Sean Connery. Sean Connery's character listens while the CEO takes his time describing what's upsetting him and how it's making him feel. Sean Connery's character doesn't say a thing, but he subtly adjusts his posture to match the posture of the CEO. And he subtly adjusts his breathing to match the depth and rate of the CEO's breathing. It is as if Sean Connery's character is allowing himself to take on the CEO's pain, even momentarily, and in so doing, we see a shift occur in the CEO. He feels better, he feels more resourceful, and consequently closer to Sean Connery's character. Sometimes when we deal with people, the question is not who's right, who's wrong, but what is someone feeling? How can I help them? We all are subject to petulance. We all have an inner child that wants to assign blame and point the finger at others. And we all have an inner parent that is aware of that and is already judging ourselves for doing it. We already have an inner conflict between our inner child and our inner parent. The inner child saying it's someone else's fault, and our parent saying, how dare you feel that way. So we've already gotten that turmoil. So when someone else outside of us says, I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry I caused you to go through this. I'm sorry I didn't get your needs better. Please accept my apology. By them sincerely assuming a portion of the responsibility, if not the entirety of the responsibility, that frees us up. We no longer feel the need to accuse them and then defend our accusations. We're relieved of that burden. And then we can feel magnanimous and dial into our inner adult and say, that's very sweet of you. Thank you for saying that. But really, it's my problem because of blah, 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 blah. So by apologizing, we're not admitting defeat. We're soothing someone else. We're healing someone else. Now, someone might be very mature and spiritual, able to work with that. Someone might be petty and infantile and unable to deal with that. The fact is, we tried. We made an effort. And that is huge. That's what separates the men from the boys. The willingness to wade knee deep into the waters of humility, the waters of vulnerability, and to try to selflessly soothe the suffering of another by assuming a modicum of responsibility, whether that responsibility is based in reality or not. It's not a question of lying. It's a question of helping them manage the energy of their inner turmoil in a humble way that helps them move forward. And that's what the spiritual path is all about. Whether your spiritual path comes from the east or the west, whether it's fundamentalist or liberal, whether it's Hindu or Buddhist or Sikh or Taoist, whether it's shamanistic, whether it's matriarchal or patriarchal, whether it's Jewish or Christian or Islamic, the purpose of the spiritual path is love. And love is more than a noun. Love is a verb. Love is described by the actions we take to benefit others in a way that's best for them. And that is the power of a well-worded apology. Friends, I thank you for your time and your kind attention. If you'd like to participate in the Wednesday series of weekly webinars, they begin April 2nd. So you can register online at www.lamajigme.com using the link below. You can register to attend either in person or over Skype. If you have a question or you want to give me a cyber hug, just leave a comment below or on Facebook using the link below. May you and yours be happy and healthy. Amarapat Sanadi. Bye-bye now. Where's Yat?